right now on the phone. Good morning, Mr. Trump.
Good morning, Allison.
Thank you for being with us on New Day. We know what a busy day this is for you. I want to start by talking about one of the tweets that you sent out in the hours after this attack. You renewed your call for the total and complete ban on Muslims entering the U.S. But of course, in this case, this was a U.S. citizen. This was someone who was born here. So what do you do about this kind of radicalization or homegrown terror?
Well, that's right. We've had people born here that cause tremendous difficulty. We've had people coming in, and we have, by the way, thousands and thousands of people pouring into our country right now who have the same kind of hate and probably even more that he has, and we have to stop. We cannot take in more Syrian refugees. And many of them are going to be causing big problems in the future. And as you know, I've been a pretty good prognosticator as to what's going to be happening. So we have to stop that. As far as the people born here, there are many people born here that become radicalized. You saw that in San Bernardino, where he became radicalized possibly by her. Nobody really knows. Maybe nobody's ever going to figure that one out. But we need much better intelligence gathering information. We need intelligence gathering centers, because the people in the communities where these people are, they know there's something off. They know there's something going wrong. In San Bernardino, there were bombs all over the apartment floor. In other cases, they knew when they went in it. And you're going to find that with this madman. The people in the area, the people in the neighborhood, they know there's something off with him, and they don't report them to the police. They don't report them to the FBI. And, this is much different, Allison, than when we fight a war with Germany or with Japan and they have uniforms. There's no uniforms here. This is going to be pure intelligence gathering. And people, Muslims, where they are, they have to report these people. Otherwise, it's going to be a bigger problem. We have right now thousands of people in the United States, living in the United States, who have the same kind of hate in their heart as he had. And we have to know who they are.
Mr. Trump, this guy was on the FBI's radar. In fact, he was interviewed twice by FBI agents in 2013 and 2014. They were concerned that he did have radical ties to extremists or to terrorists. And yet, they concluded that there was nothing they could do about it, and he was allowed to own a gun. He had a carry license. Are you comfortable with people who the FBI has identified as possibly having radical ties owning weapons?
Well, in this case, he was actually licensed, and which is sort of an amazing thing. He went out, he got licensed, he was fully licensed, so he had the right to have a gun. So for all of those people that want to have people go out and get licensed, here's an example of somebody that went out and got licensed, and he was able to get a gun. Gun owners, even more than ever, need to be able to protect themselves. And by the way, if you had some guns in that club the night that this took place, if you had guns on the other side, you wouldn't have had the tragedy that you had. If people in that room
but there
had
was,
guns,
but Mr. Trump, there was an armed security guard
right at his head, you wouldn't have had the same tragedy that you ended up having, and nobody even knows how bad that tragedy is, because I think probably the numbers will get bigger and bigger and worse. I hear the injured are so gravely injured. But if you had guns in that room, even if you had a number of people having a strap to their ankle or strapped to their waist, where bullets could have flown in the other direction right at them, you wouldn't have had the same kind of a tragedy.
Mr. Trump, this is Christine Romans in the New York studio. We've lost our satellite feed with Allison Camerata, so I'm going to pick up from here, sir, if you don't mind. So what do you think? Is there, Mr. Trump, any policy prescription in light of this event that would prevent a future attack like this? What would be your policy prescription?
Well, you have tremendous numbers of people with this tremendous radical hate. The first thing you need a president that's going to mention the problem. And he won't even mention what the problem is. And unless you're going to say it's radical Islamic terrorism and hate, unless you're going to say that, Christine, it's going to be, you're never going to solve it. And you have Hillary Clinton refuses to use the words. Now, she doesn't really
just
believe
used
that
them.
she shouldn't use it. She's afraid to use it because
Mr. Trump, on our show this morning,
President
she
Obama
did.
doesn't want her to use it.
She did
you
say
know,
that this morning. She said,
he's the boss,
Mr.
okay? And she's afraid of him because obviously, you know, she probably thinks that he has a very profound effect over her life.
Let me jump
He's
in. I don't know if
protecting
you
her
can hear
from
me on
going
the phone.
to jail.
Let me jump in
So
because
he's not going to use it. But I bet you that she would believe that she would love to use those words
She
because
said-
almost everybody agrees that those words should be used.
she said, Mr. Trump, on our interview with her just an hour ago, that she's happy to use the words radical Islam, that she's happy to use the words that the semantics aren't an issue here. It's, you know, this is now about, right, investigating what happened, finding the motive, finding out more about this man, this murderer, and figuring out if there's anything we can do to prevent something like this.
The greatest source, look, first of all, we have to stop people from coming in from Syria. We're taking them in by the thousands, and you're going to have tremendous problems. You will have problems right now. You will have problems like we've never seen before. And this will only get worse because we have very weak leadership, and Hillary is going to be weaker than Obama. If she got in, she would be weaker than Obama, in my opinion. All you have to do is read the Secret Service reports about her, the book that just came out. And when you read that, you can't have her as president.
This isn't a refugee issue, though. I mean, this particular case is not a refugee issue. You know, this is a case, excuse me, this is a case of an American citizen with what appears to be multiple different motivations here, but investigators will finally determine what happened here. But how do you equate what happened here with with a Syrian refugee?
Okay, this is a case of surveillance. This is a case of intelligence gathering information. You will find that many people that knew him felt that he was a whack job. He was going, something like this would have happened. I already hear it starting to happen. People that knew him, the ex-wife and other people, they don't report them. For some reason, the Muslim community does not report people like this. So we do have two different standards. We have people that live here and have become radicalized and have been radicalized. You look at his father. His father is sort of a prime example. But you look at the people that have come to the country, and you look at and are here. And for that, we need intelligence gathering. We have to look at the mosques. We have to look at we have to look at the community. And believe me, the community knows the people that have potential for blow up. The communities that we're talking about, they know about this guy. They knew that this was tremendous potential for blow up. And then, of course, we have to stop allowing people into our country